Alrighty. Well, hello, farming friends. Welcome back to another edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, your buddy Mistermoose. Doing a little live stream late on a Thursday night. I'm not sure if anybody will actually catch this live stream, but I didn't do one on Wednesday night, so I thought I would do one Thursday evening. It got a little late, but I'm going to go ahead and get it done anyways. We'll get a little farming done, and if anybody jumps in, they will. If not, it'll just be a regular old us working on Manchester. Oh, let's see. Farmer Deer is in with us. Hello, Farmer Deer. So, just going to do a couple hours and get a few things done here on the farm. One of which is to get a little bit of work done on spreading some fertilizer on our grass fields. Because they are in serious need of neglect. Let's go take a look at the grass field that is in question and see what needs to be done to it. Let's see. Awesome Soccer 16. Hello. How are you this evening? So we'll head back here. Last time I harvested this field, I got really bad harvest out of it. So, as we can see, it is in bad shape. Needs quite a bit of taking care of, so we need to put a little moisture in it, need to put a little nutrient in it, so that's what we're going to do today. Get that taken care of. I am doing good, Awesome Soccer 16. Thank you for asking. Alright, so we'll go get our sprayer and then we'll head in here. Oh, let me resize a couple of things real quick here so I can see what's going on with some folks. Alright. Farmer Deer says he loves this map. Can't wait for his new one. I didn't know Reaper was doing a new one, but I'm sure it will be very cool. I don't keep up on a lot of that stuff. I just kind of watch what comes out on mod hosters or wherever and check them out. Though I tell you, I do like that French map that I did the mod review on the other day. I kind of enjoyed it. It wouldn't be bad to go play it a little bit. Alright, so since this particular field is quite dry, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put liquid fertilizer on it instead of dry. So we'll get the big sprayer out and we'll take care of some of that on it. Why are we stuck like that? That was interesting. Oh, I know why. There we go. Let's get out. Alright, so let's switch this over to NPK. So we can put a little bit on the field. Farmer Deer, in response to Reaper, he says, yeah, he posted on his Facebook page that he's going to chill back and work on his second map. Well, that's cool. That's very cool. There we go, that works better. I actually had track IR turned off for a second there, so I had to turn it back on. Alright. But yeah, I had some family issues come up yesterday. I had every intentions of streaming last night. And at the last minute, some little drama came up, and I was not going to be able to sit at the computer for 2 hours and stream, so ended up having to do other things. No, I don't have a steering wheel. Gonna get one probably this week. If not this week, at the end of the month. It's just one of those things that I'll probably get before November, for sure. Alrighty, so let's pull way out so we can see what we're doing here. So anywho, Farmer Deer, that's cool. I'm not a fan of the farming wheel. The G27 is cheaper. And it's all plastic, so I don't think I'm going to get that for 300. I'm not impressed with the farming wheel. I'm really not. And like you said, yeah, you can get a G27 cheaper. And let's be honest, if you've got a joystick around the house, we were just talking about this the other day, because I think Landy's probably going to get one, because the price on them over in the UK seems really cheaper. But as far as from my perspective of it, seeing as I've got the two joysticks, the two Logitechs, if I let me get this all dialed in here. I think that's gonna work. It looks like it will. But yeah, seeing as because I've got the two Logitechs, I should be able to take just the joysticks and pedals from the G27, combine that with the two joysticks, and then I'll be able to do all my forestry and everything without any issues. So yeah. Let's see. Cal Fagans is in and says, do you farm in real life? I do. I don't farm professionally. I've said this before. I have a community farm that I own. It's 40 acres. And it's basically people who put in time on the farm get fruits and vegetables out of it for no charge. I live in a very I live in more of a fish community, and so I try to help out those around me who may not have as much money to spend on groceries and such. So if they help out on the farm and everything, they can get, you know, vegetables that are available on the farm and keep them from themselves. And we give a lot to the church, a lot of eggs and things like that we harvest off the farm. Goes back then, and then of course my family is taken care of that way as well. So that's sort of the way things work for us. Alright, so tram lines don't mean a whole lot with grass, but since they do destroy the grass anyways, I will go ahead and try and hug the tram lines while we do this. Let's see. Nick, what kind are you going to get? Because I'm getting one and I don't know which one to get. I'm going to stick with the G27. I've looked at the G28, which I guess is the new version. I think that's the number on it. And I wouldn't really, I mean, it just seems too cluttered. It seems more like a racing wheel for like Ferraris and stuff. And since that's not really what I would get it for, I think we're just going to stick with the G27. And like I said, I've got a couple of Logitech 3D Pros that I'm using for forestry. So I'm going to hang on to those for the forestry stuff. So if I combine, like for farm sim, if I combine the, yeah, I knew I was going to hit there. If I combine the two Logitechs with my G27, or excuse me, yeah, the 2 Logitechs with a G27, and then I use the buttons that are on the base of it. I'll have plenty of buttons because I mean, when you add it up, there's probably 15 assignable buttons per joystick. So it just gives me plenty of stuff. Nathan Sewell, hello. I think I pronounced that right. All right, so we get that done, taken care of. Farmer Deer writes he just got back from the farm not too long ago, so he's just chilling out for a bit. Darian Baker, hi there. Gamepad works fine for me. Absolutely, that's pretty much what I use, and I didn't even get the Xbox when I used the old PS2 controller or PS3 controller that I had from PlayStation. I just don't ever use it anymore. Let's see, what else? That's about it. But yeah, that's but I'm getting the G27 more for Euro Truck, and I've been really wanting to pick up a copy of Dirt Rally, so because the game looks phenomenal, and I just know that from watching other people play it, I just know that I have a fear that playing it on a gamepad, you're just not going to get the same experience out of it that you would off of a joystick. So I mean off a wheel. So if I go buy that, or my plan is to buy that, and I'd like to have the wheel for that as well as for Euro Truck, and when American Truck Simulator comes out, I'll have it for it as well. So that's my whole theory behind getting a wheel. And I think it will make my forestry a little bit easier. The one thing I've run into with forestry, now that I'm doing dual joysticks, is driving the vehicle. Is not real easy using the controls that are on the joystick. So having foot pedals for throttle and brake, and then having the steering wheel there to steer with would be a welcome addition. And so to be able to set that up, and then the other thing is, if you change from a forestry vehicle to a tractor or anything else like that, when you do, it becomes a real hassle. So that's another reason why I would love to have a steering wheel for Farm Sim, is for the forestry. If you need to be able to drive a semi, you've got the wheel there, and then you've got the dual joysticks when you're going to do something else. Alright, so I'm going to put one thing of NPK down on this field, and then I'm going to put a thing of water down, and that'll at least get us started. That'll get us 3-2 and a little bit of moisture, and then we'll go forward. I can't put 2 things of fertilizer down on it, or I would have put one thing of N and one thing of PK down and gone that way, but make do with what I can do. Ah, hit the wrong button there. Let's see. Farmer Deer. For me, the crew physics are crap with controller. Really, it's made for steering wheel personally. I guess you're talking about for Dirt Rally. Cajun Hunter, hello. George Mullen, hello. Thanks for joining me this evening for this late stream. So I posed this question the other day in a video and didn't get a whole lot of response back, and I'm still very curious. What are preferred times for live streams for folks during the week? Weekends, but during the week, what's preferred times for a stream that works good for everybody? I'm curious. And if you're watching this on playback, please comment. I'd like to know. Alright, Farmer Deer's out of here. Nice to see you, man. Sorry this was so late. I got caught up in closed beta this afternoon, so kind of had to go to that. Let's see. Darren Baker. Hello, Darren. Is the soul mod easy to get the hang of? As reading text files that came with baffled me a little bit. I have got a there is a great tutorial. If you do a video, if you search for soul mod tutorial, there's a little video that some, I guess they're Germans, have done. It's in English. I would check it out. It's really good and will help you out considerably with the soul mod. It's not that hard to get the hang of. Have I mastered it? Oh no, I've still got a long way to go before I'll really know how to do the soul mod that good, but I got a pretty good idea on how to do it. So but yeah, just the literature that you get with the soul mod just really doesn't do a good job. Watch the video that those guys have put together. There's a link in one of my videos on Manchester that has it in there for how to do the soul mod, and it gives the link to that tutorial. But if you look that up, it'll give you a lot of information. Very useful. Yeah, I know it's 9:30 Eastern. It's 8:30 here. I live in the Central Time Zone, and I know it's late, but it was one of those things where I sat down today to the reason this is so late, I'll go ahead and explain. I sat down today to record my farm sim stuff for the day, and 5 minutes into it, I just started getting hammered with people letting me know some things were going on and pertaining to Fishing Planet, and that my presence was sort of requested because they were starting the closed beta testing today, and that wanted me to get involved in it. So I stopped my recording, got caught up in the closed beta testing, and told myself, well, I'm only going to do like 30 minutes of this, and then I'm going to go do my farm sim stuff, and then I'll come back and do some closed beta testing. Well, some things happened, and I ended up not getting out of there until about an hour ago. So I thought, well, instead of recording a video and processing and all that other stuff, I'll do a live stream tonight, because I was going to do one last night and didn't pull that off. So I thought, well, I'll just do a live stream this evening, record that, and do my farming live, and then let everybody watch and comment on it, and then I can actually do a little live stream at the same time. So that's what we're doing tonight. So, but yeah, I'd like to find a good time during the week. I'd like to do one live stream during the week, like on Wednesday nights, and maybe 5 Central, 6 Eastern time zone. I was going to start last night about 6 o'clock. So, but that was it. And then that way I can do one during the week and then 1 or 2 on the weekends, just depending on what I got going on in my life. Alright, so we got that done. And let's see, it's 11:30 now. Just we need to do some let me look at the times here, weather-wise and everything. So today we're cloudy. Tomorrow 20C. So we're not going to really. 22C is the moisture content-wise I'm worried about. Let's see. That's day 4 that it's raining. I really want to shift that forward a couple of days. So I'm in no hurry to start planting. I like to plant on Friday, I think, is when I want to plant. So that's that. Let's see. What was the other thing I wanted to look at today? I wanted to look at fields. Somebody said purchase field 20 because it was a value. I think we own 4, 6. I think 3 is 2 or 3 are the ones I purchased last time. So I want to pick up one more field. So maybe 20 is the one to do. Let's just ride over and look at it real quick. And may take a might as well take a plow with me if I'm gonna buy it, because it needs to be plowed under. So let's kill this one because I don't like plowing in it. And we'll come over here and grab out our 1050. So I think I've fixed all my issues with the 1050. I went in and I pulled the plow spec out of it completely, so it doesn't slide anymore. I haven't been having any problems with it. However, I was talking to Landy Kid yesterday or the day before, and he had a fix that Timber had put out to fix the one with the plow spec. So I'm doing a little testing with it. If everything goes right, I'm going to start using it, and I'll just swap out these for that. But for now, this one doesn't have the plow spec in it, and it seems to be working pretty good. So, you know, that's the cool thing about Mr. Fent writes, it really doesn't matter when you stream. I always watch them even after you've loaded them on YouTube. That's the cool thing about YouTube, and what I like about streaming on YouTube is it's so easy to get the video back up onto YouTube afterwards, that even if you guys miss it, you'll be able to see it. And that's one of the things I'm going to try to, the narratives in the streams will be more directed at making sure that people who do miss the streams will be able to follow along with what's going on. So Darren writes, look back and been watching a lot of your vids of late, and you got me into Fishing Planet. It's a cool game, and look, all the drama that's been surrounding me in that game the last few weeks or whatever, you know, just ignore all that stuff. The game itself is good. It's got some growing pains it's going to go through as they work it out and work on developing the game, because it is early access. But it's a pretty cool game. I like it a lot. $247. Yeah, I think we'll buy this field. It is a tremendous value. Well, there's a keystroke issue right there. Wow, I never knew that was there. Brad Walters writes, same, I just like to know the agenda. I guess you're talking about Fishing Planet. Is that what you're talking about, Brad? Their agenda is pretty straightforward. They just have got caught up by the game got away from them a little bit, I think, you know, as far as how fast everybody is leveling up. And I think they're just trying to find a balance on that. So, alright, so we'll go ahead and plow this and get it ready. So, you know, people just have to be, oh, I'm going to be plowing this field probably for right now. That's what Brad was talking about. I got you, buddy. But no, as far as Fishing Planet, they got a great game there. They just got to get it. They got to get it under control and get a little bit of. They get a little extra content in there, and get the tournaments and stuff in place. I think people will be pretty happy with it. The 1050 has been my favorite tractor for a while now. I was playing it back when I was playing My Big Country, and when it first came out, I was like, "Oh, this is the best tractor," and absolutely love it. And that's why when it ain't working right, when it's having issues, I tends to irritate me quite a bit, because I like using it so much. There, come on through the field, lift up. Alright, so we'll turn around here. And we'll come back over to our field. So the plow issue I was having with this thing, I do believe that is now going to be with the plow itself, and what I think is happening, and Landy kind of pointed this out, and oops, I hit the wrong button there. Don't change. I think what's happening, if we turn and look, the wheel on the back, I think is a problem, because if I'm plowing like this with the Real Terrain mod installed, if I plow straight forward like so, and I use this, I don't have any issues. The plow seems to fall to track the tractor straight. What seems to be happening is, if you've got an articulated tractor, when you make the switch and you're going back upfield, the wheel wants to try to come over and go into the furrow and grab the furrow and track the furrow, and I think that's where the problem is with it. But I've sent OEB Modding an email and a video on what was going wrong, and hopefully they're working on a solution to it, because I really do like that mod, and I want to put it in. So you talking about the Mr. Finn? I had a hard time getting used to the backwards front loader. You mean switching the console around and being able to use the front loader on the back of it? Which is really cool that they modded it into this, because if you're familiar with the fence stuff, that's actually an honest feature that is available in their tractors, which is very cool that somebody was able to actually mod that into one of these, which is becoming more and more common. But I think Timber was the first one to put it in, and then somebody came along and did the 950 and put it in the 950. I remember the first version of this tractor I had like turbo written all over it, and you know, the mod itself wasn't that good, but the tractor had the power and was there, but it didn't have the center console, it didn't have the pivoting console or any of that. It didn't have the ability to put the front loader on it. None of that was issued into it. But I'll tell you where this tractor excels is in real life. A lot of forestry people use it with a forestry mower, and like if y'all watched my video the other day and I had that AHWI on here, in real life you'll see them put that forestry mower on this particular tractor, and then flip the console around so that they can drive it looking in reverse. And then that way they can just plow through underbrush and things like that with a forestry mower. And having that console on the rear is really handy. Do I have a list of mods I use on F15? It is there is a spreadsheet, and there is a link to that spreadsheet in every video description that I have, including the video description for this live stream. It should be in it as well. So if you want to see what mods I use, they're in there. It's pretty up to date. I don't have any of the contest mods in there yet. It's update to about 2 weeks ago, and I really didn't add anything new in until then. So everything is in there. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and get this plowed up. And then I figure I'm just gonna skip the next day completely. I may have to tend a little bit to the animals to make sure that the cows have water and food. But I think the next day there's really not a whole lot of work to do. Other than mow some grass. I could find some of these areas and mow some grass and start stockpiling some more grass, because I do need to get grass on, because I do intend on going ahead and getting some sheep next, and then after that begin the process of heading over to the pigs and the beef. Alright, make my turn here so I can get back around. Let's see, Mr. Fent writes, I use the AHWI with the class, the one that lets you turn the cab 90 degrees. I guess you're talking about the 4500. Maybe that's it. I like it too. It's a pretty cool tractor as well. The only thing I don't like about that class 4500 is this: the guys who did that model, they do a really good job, and I like most of their work. But the thing I would like to see with that class 4500 is maybe see it have the ability to change from to change the steering around to be full steer or front wheel steering when you're driving down the road, and then have the ability to have articulated steering when you're in the field, and give you that option to switch that. That's the only thing missing on that mod that would make it a little bit better. I'm not a big fan of full-time articulated steering on the tractors. One of the reasons I stay away from articulated tractors, period. Darren, no problem, man. A lot of people don't look in the show notes, and even if I say in a video or something, I'll say a list of the mods is in the show notes, or I'll say a link to this map is in the show notes. You'd be surprised at how many emails or messages I get from people going, hey, where do I get that tractor? Send me that tractor, send me a link to it. And I'm like, I just told you the link was in the show notes. So it happens, but I try to keep that spreadsheet pretty up to date. If I put a mod in the game, to stay, I will put it in the spreadsheet. If I just do a demo on the mod and it's not something I'm going to use on a regular basis, it probably won't make it into the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is pretty much stuff I use actively. Let's see. No, actually, let's see. Mr. Fent, wouldn't you rather the AI helper do your plowing? No, I actually enjoy doing it. There's not a whole lot of people who play this game that actually plow, if you think about it. I'm one of the few people who does it. Most everybody else will cultivate or go straight to, no-till, and they'll go straight to seeding. I actually enjoy the plowing. And again, it's something I do it in real life, so it's something I really don't mind doing. And I try not to put AI working all the time. Now, most of the time I will dual plow. I'll put the AI on one plow and I'll get on the other plow. If I've got something else I'm doing, it makes a lot of sense to let the AI plow. So Cal Fagan, I used the 4450 two-wheel drive, was hauling hay and I sunk it. Got it stuck and we are going to try to get it out tomorrow. That's always fun. How did I get that flipped up there? Come on. I've stuck my fair share of tractors in my life, man, so don't feel bad. It happens. Brad, gotta go. No problem, man. Have a good night. Brad wrote, what's the difference between cows and beef? I refer to cows as dairy cows, and beef as in fattened beef for selling at the slaughterhouse. Take it easy, Brad. Have a good night, man. And I'll try not to do my next stream so late. So has anybody downloaded that new Kenzie 18-meter corn seeder that is on well, I think it's on a variety of different sites. I think I found it on LS Mods 2015, but man, that's a cool seeder. I'm gonna have to do a mod review on it this week because it is the detail that's in it looks great. Somebody done a really good job with it. They might have ripped another mod off, I don't know, but it looks, whoever did the original modding on it, and if it's these guys, they deserve mad props because it looks really good. And I think I'm gonna have to incorporate it into Manchester here, especially if we do field number 1. If we buy field number 1 and start planting it in corn, let's say, for doing silage for the pigs and the beef, we're gonna have to have a big seeder. And at 18 meters, that thing is awesome, and it more reflects what I have, because none of my seeders have cultivators on them. They're all dial seeders. They have a plate in it that spins around and takes care of how much seed you put out, and there's no cultivator on it at all. It's just a seeder. That thing's really cool. Oops, missed a little. Yeah, grab that with the cultivator. Well, we're gonna have to get into some I've got to get into doing some more silage here pretty quick, because I'm gonna start running low as many as dairy cattle as we have. So I need to start getting some cornfields done to be able to do silage. So that's probably what this field and field 6 will be for a while, is just corn to for silage, and then we can go from there. Let's see. Let's see. Cal writes he uses the John Deere DB 120 planter. He thinks it's 25 row planter. Sounds about right. There's been a couple of John Deeres out that I thought were interesting, but I never did download them. Just because it seemed like, well, I downloaded them and looked at them, it seemed like there were some issues with them. I know there's one out there that, with unlevel terrain like these fields have in them, it misses a lot of spots. And I know it's a John Deere, I just don't know which one it is, but it seems to be one of those that just, like I said, if your field's not level, it will miss some spots in it. So it sort of steered me away from using it. And it may be the John Deere multi-seeder, Mr. Fent, that you're using. But yeah. I use that in real life. Cool. Yeah, the one I use in real life, and I forget the model number on it, it's a 24 row. It's also, the one I have in real life, you can expand or contract it based upon the size of field you're doing. It's 24, but you could cut it down to 12. You can actually add it to 36. Darren, it's been nice talking to you. You need to get some sleep. It's 3 a.m. I understand that, man. Take it easy and have a good night's rest. Thanks for joining us. Like I said, I apologize for it being a late stream. Just kind of got started later than I wanted to. Right, Mr. Fent writes he doesn't have any problems with himself. It has a built-in cultivator. Yeah, it's what would be considered no-till, and you know, like the Vatterstat in game, the Vatterstat Rapid 6000 is actually a no-till seeder as well. I mean, if you wanted to go that direction, then you could go ahead and seed with it. The only things in this game that you really have to have a cultivator for, honestly, is if you're planting potatoes, corn, or sugar beets, because you have to use a seeder that is not considered that doesn't have the cultivator on it. So, but I think with that John Deere you can plant everything, so that's probably if it's the one I'm thinking about, it's probably the one that you're using. So, well, you can't do potatoes with it, obviously, but you can do probably do corn, soybean, sugar beets with it, maybe even. I know somebody went out there and modded a corn seeder so you could do no-till with a corn seeder. I'm just not real big into no-till farming because we don't do it here, so. And we've had that whole discussion before. I know a lot of people do it, but where I farm, it just doesn't work. I had somebody comment the other day on the on one of the videos that they where they farm, they tried no-till and it just didn't work for them because they damaged too much seed. I don't know how that happens. That's got to, maybe that's something to do with your field. I know it takes, I'm talking to people who have done it, I know it takes years to get your yields right if you go no-till. Oops. This tractor is in serious need of a wash job. I just hate to wash them because they look so shiny and new right after you wash them. I like for them to look a little worn, like somebody actually used them. Oops. Wrong key combinations. What's my favorite map? Y'all are gonna laugh, but man, I'll tell you what. I went back and been messing with Home a little bit, and I still love that map. I just think Giants did a really good job on that map. If it had like multi-fruit and soul mod, I'd go back and do that map in a heartbeat. I really did like it. Just got burned out on it because I played it every day when this game originally came out, but I did really enjoy it. And I know there's a lot of different modded versions of it. I just never have drug one out because I don't know that people would enjoy seeing more of your home, so I just kind of steer away from it. I try to find maps too that not everybody's done, but then I just really have enjoyed Manchester. Since it came out with the Soul mod, it makes all the world of a difference. That's the one thing. I try to find maps that not everybody's done, and to keep it fresh. And like I said, the only reason I came back to do Manchester is because of the Soul mod. I would never have come back and done it. I've never been able to find a, Kyle says Wind Chaser. I've never been able to find a functioning version of Wind Chaser that didn't have issues with it. Somebody said a while back there was a soul modded version of Wind Chaser out there, and I went and looked for it, but again, like, doors didn't work on it, certain loading spots didn't work on it. It just didn't seem like a complete map, which from what I understand, Wind Chaser is a stolen map. If I remember correct, it was something that American Eagles Modding had, and somebody got hold of it when it was in beta, and then what's out there on the internet is like a beta version of it that somebody took and posted up on the internet. And so every time I've ever found a version of it that was out there, it always seemed to be not functional because it had a whole lot of issues with it. That map has been a point of sore subject for a lot of people too, because the guys, if it's the one, again, if it's the one I'm thinking of, and it seems like Wind Chaser, it seems like I just deleted one version of it the other day. Yeah, it's Lindbergh's, that's it. He put it, he did all these videos and promoted it and talked about it and everything else like that, but then he never did a public release about it. And then anytime anybody asked him about it, he got real snide about it, and just it pissed a lot of people off, because it's like, well, why do all this stuff and promote this map and showcase it and everything, but never let anybody play it? And there was a lot of people irritated about that. And then it got, like I said, it got put out there, stolen on the internet, and that really seemed to irritate a lot of people, that it never would get out there. And so, yeah, then it got stolen, and then he got mad about that, and it just seemed to all go downhill from there. But every time I see a version of Wind Chaser out there, it's an incomplete form of a beta that got stolen from him. So I would love if a full version of that map came out. Now, it's huge, a lot like States is, but it's a big map. It's got some cool stuff on it. Kyle writes he loves American style maps. I like American style maps too, but I don't like flat, wide open Kansas American style maps. Kansas is not the only place in America where people farm, and it's not the only place where you have great big fields with no character around them. And that's the only thing I hate about so many American style maps that come out that are quote unquote American style. They have no character to them. They just tend to be flat, wide open, big fields. And I like for there to be some surrounding eye candy and things that go on with it. So I like Ringwoods. Paul Kelly writes, I'm working on Ringwoods 1.8, which has cotton, soybeans, sorghum, sunflower, and oats. It's a good map. Those guys have done a really great job with that map. I remember reviewing it when it was still in beta and thought very highly of that map. I've always liked it. It's just I was doing something else when it came out, and so I never got into it. But yeah, it's very, very cool. It seems like I saw a Paul Kelly. It seems like I saw a on maybe LS Mods had a cotton harvester one day. Which I don't know how they've got it set up for you to harvest cotton, but it seems like there's a it seems like there is a combine out there that will do cotton, but I think it's on like an off name site. It doesn't seem like it's on FS Mods or FSUK or Mod Hosters. I think it's on LS Mods 2015 or modhub.us, maybe one of those two. But I think there is a dedicated cotton combine out there that somebody has made. Oh, you tried it and it didn't work for you? Yeah, every time I see like sorghum and cotton listed in multi-fruit, I just wonder about that. What are you going to use to harvest cotton? And if you are going to harvest cotton, do you have a baler for cotton? Because I don't know if you've ever seen cotton being harvested. You've got a compactor that goes into the field nowadays. And when the cotton is harvested, the combine dumps all the cotton into the compactor. The cotton is then compacted in the field and then spit out in a big, huge block the size of an 18-wheeler trailer. And then they usually put a tarp over it, and it's numbered, and then another truck comes and picks it up and hauls it off. And I'm like, if all that equipment were in this game, I'd do nothing but cotton. I'd be a cotton farmer on one field, you know. Every field I own would be cotton, and I would have it all set up so I could go in and do my cotton. Then you need a cotton gin mod so you could take it, gin the cotton, and get that done, and then that way you could get your seed back from the gin for your next planting. So no, I'm not. I have roots in cotton though in my family. I had a family member who actually ran a gin and a mercantile, and he was such a shyster. He owned a lot of the farms in the area, and he would sharecrop them. He would take them and he would basically say, okay, I'm going to let you have the agricultural rights to this farm, to this particular field, and you're going to rent this field from me for X amount of money. And oh, by the way, the stipulation on that is all the cotton that you grow on this field, you're going to have to bring to my gin, and we'll gin it at my gin. And oh, by the way, when you gin it at my gin, part of your fee is going to be that I get to retain 50% of the seed when it's gin. So he had such a scam going on. He would take and basically he'd let you farm his land for a cut of the profits off of what you farmed on his land. You had to agree to bring the product to his gin to get it ginned. And by the way, when he ginned it, he was going to keep 50% of your seed. And oh, by the way, when it came time to buy seed to put in your field, guess who you were buying it from? You were buying it from him. So basically, you were buying 50% of the seeds you were buying your own shit back. So it was just kind of funny. He was a shyster. He had a scam going on. Oh. Now the same guys that did Ringwoods did Black Rock Valley, right? Oh, okay. Mr. Fence actually just said that a minute ago. Yeah. I downloaded Black Rock Valley a few days ago to get some textures out of it. And I'm hanging on to it because I have heard it is really nice. So... the biggest tractor, Cal, right? The biggest one I got right now is a 78 series. But that's the biggest one I've got right now that I'm running. I'd like to get an 8 series, but I don't see spending the money on anything. Everything I've got's sort of old. I just don't see spending the money on anything else. I don't farm enough. We used to have 80 acres. I'm down to 40 now. And I just don't do enough to need anything else. Would love, like I said though, I'd love to have an 8 series. You know, I'd love to have an R. But don't, so I'm stuck with what I got. Alright, so we've made it through an hour. And I'll keep it going, like I said. I don't even know what time it is yet. Hey, start drifting. I'm doing this without GPS, so I'm trying to look at what time it was. I think I'll probably continue this on until 10 o'clock. So about probably like 40 more minutes. And then and we'll call it an evening. My friends, I've got some friends. Cal's talking about the biggest tractor his neighbor has is a 9530, and it's a beast. Man, I've got some friends who commercially farm, and some of the stuff they have is just outrageous. And then my uncle commercially farms potatoes. I've probably told y'all that a million times. He's got some stuff on there, especially like their diggers. The tractors they use to pull the diggers are just huge. And They're crazy big. So hit the button wrong that time again. Turn the plow the wrong way. We're not far from each other then, Mr. Fender, because I'm pretty close to you. It would be 9:21 here in South Alabama as well, so well, we're all in the same time zone. That's pretty good. Regardless, it's late. I know that much. I'm guessing, Mr. Fent, you're getting a lot of rain these days off of this system that's around us right now. It seems like we get these spotty thunder showers all day long because of it. And then last night a big line moved through. Messed everything up pretty good. One of the reasons I stayed out of the field today, because I went and looked at it, it's pretty sloppy. Pulled some okra, pulled a little bit of other stuff. I'm ready to do corn, but it is just I don't want to get in there and start messing with it as sloppy as the field is. Oh, is it Fender? Dude, I'm so far away from the monitor, and all the names are in really light gray, so it's hard for me to see. So I do apologize for that. If I get you guys' name wrong, I'm sorry about that. I gotta see if there's a way I can adjust the colors on it, because it's against that white background and all the names in light gray, and at the distance I've got the monitor. Yeah, I was thinking, since you're into farming and stuff, your name was Mr. Fent. So that's a serious boo-boo on my part. I apologize. Mr. Fender writes, sure am. I had a hell of a time trying to get hay in the barn this season. I feel for you, man. It's rained all the time down here, and I'm glad I don't do dairy. As much rain as afternoon showers and everything that we've had, I can't imagine trying to get the hay down and get it dry before you bale in the weather that we've had down here in the southeast this year. It's got to be a challenge. That's the one thing about doing vegetables is, you know, I don't have to worry about that. I just get the fields ready and go from there. Hello, Cody. Let's see, Cal, am I a JD farm? You mean like John Deere farm? I have 2 John Deere tractors, yes. But I'm a hodgepodge farm. I am I've got my grandfather's Massey. I've got my John Deere's. I've got an old Farmall. I've got a lot of different tractors. I have a Caterpillar that I use for some stuff, so I have a variety of things. Let's see. Paul Kelly. I used to pick up peanuts from Headland, Alabama, just north of Dothan, to bring up to PA to make peanut butter. Very cool. Yeah, you know, their peanut farming is huge here where I live, and we were joking about that with somebody who lives close to me that is actually plays Fishing Planet with us, and somebody was saying about something about he lived out in the sticks, and I said that he lives out there, ain't nothing around him but trees and peanut farms. There ain't nothing there but peanut farms. And man, I'll tell you what, next month is about the worst time of the year to live here, because the dust that all those peanuts pick when they're harvesting peanuts, it is nasty, nasty, nasty. If you live around a peanut farm, you ain't keeping your car clean next month, because it gets bad. But man, they grow a lot of them. Two of the biggest yields here are pecans and peanuts. I see that's everywhere. Big, huge pecan groves and peanut farms. They grow them all the time. And if they don't have peanuts in the field, they got soybean in the field. One of the places up around Atmore, Alabama, and Bruton, they are big time peanut growers. But there's 4 main, in just my area, there's 4 main wholesalers that buy peanuts from all the farmers. And so yeah, there's a lot of peanut growing here. Wheels, you live in North Alabama and there's no peanuts up there. There's a lot of cotton up where you live. I lived in Athens and Huntsville for a while, and there's a lot of cotton farming up in that area. A lot of cotton. The whole state is a big cotton state while we live in the cotton belt. But yeah, tends to be a lot of it up north. Down here, the sand is really, or the soil is a little bit more loomy and has a higher sand content. So you see a lot of root crops down here. So that's the reason why, and because you've got such dry conditions here for the most part, you'll see a lot of potatoes and root crops down in this area, peanuts, soybeans, things of that nature. Whoops. That hillside didn't look like it was that aggressive. I gotta get off of it. Let's see. Paul Kelly, first time I seen those long-legged tractors, they look like large insects. I love Highboys. They're cool tractors, man. Especially if you see like you see them doing bean fields with them a lot. Doing mechanical cultivating with those. They're pretty cool. Or you see somebody doing orchards, doing apple orchards with them. Those are the ones that are crazy. If you get a chance, there's actually a video. You want to see something really crazy? If you get a chance, go to Tractor Spotters on YouTube and check it out. There's a guy on there. It's got a Highboy that he does apple or manual cultivating in a apple orchard with one, and it's so crazy because he sets up his track and starts running. Then he climbs out of the tractor and climbs down onto the cultivator to make an adjustment, and I'm just cracking up at him doing that. There's some great videos on that YouTube channel if you like farming and everything. A lot of it's European stuff, but it's still some cool videos in there. They had one last week, I think they did, where they were showing all the different apparatuses you could use to clear out canals. Let's see. Wheels, how does YouTube stream compare to Twitch in my opinion? From my standpoint, I like it a lot better than Twitch. And I've covered this before in other, conversations, but I'll go over it again. As a streamer who's not partnered with Twitch, if I do a Twitch stream, I don't have the ability to change my stream out at all. If I put it up there, whatever speed I put it up at, you have to watch it at. Whereas on YouTube, whatever I put it up, it gives you, the end user, the ability to adjust. And I never had that ability when I was streaming on Twitch because I wasn't partnered. Once you're partnered with Twitch, then you can put it up at a higher bit rate, and the end user can make the adjustments that they want to make. But like I said, I never had that ability. So being on YouTube, I immediately get that right off the bat. So that's one of the most important things for me is is that I can put my videos up at whatever bit rate I want to put them up at, and you get those, and you can say, well, that's too high of a bit rate for me. Instead of watching it 1080 at 1080p, I can watch it at 720 or 360. So that was really that's really nice for me. But at the same time, I can record this 2-hour stream, and at the end of it, within 30 minutes, it'll be ready to go live on YouTube. And that's another big thing. It cuts down on the amount of production time that I have to do to turn a video around to get it up on YouTube. So if I want to archive it, I have to jump through a bunch of hoops on Twitch. I don't have to do all that with YouTube. So what am I doing with my next stream? Might do one tomorrow night. It just kind of depends. I know Landy is planning on doing a stream tomorrow night. We'll just see. We've been talking about doing a co-op together, like where we both stream at the same time and do the same thing together. Like, so if we could pull something like that off, that would be cool. I don't know that that's going to happen though this week. So I don't really look at YouTube as a competition. So I don't really try to compete against anybody. But at the same time, I know that we share a lot of viewerships, he and I do. And so if he's going to stream, I might not step on his toes, let him stream, and then I'll stream later on. I know Saturday night streaming's out of the question. I've got to go to a function with some friends. So if not tomorrow night, maybe tomorrow afternoon or Saturday during the day at some point. So alright, so that's done. We didn't miss too much, and that's going to give us a fourth field that will most likely get this will most likely end up becoming our cornfield strictly for silage. So let's see, Cody, I'd like to start YouTubing. Any ideas how to start? Just go for it, man. Just record your videos and put them up and go from there. Do your own thing, you know, find your niche, that what you're good at, and do it. And it takes a while. Just put them up there and you'll slowly but surely, consistency is the biggest thing to it. If you're going to do it consistent, you know, have a video up every day or two, and that'll go from there. How did I start playing with Landy? We just became friends because we both YouTube, and we got to talking and everything, and then he invited me to join him on a multiplayer thing one day, and I joined in on it and everything, and that's kind of been that way. Crew Guy asked, could I do a list of links with all the mods I use? If you look in the description for this video, in the show notes, there is a link for mods I use, and there is a complete listing of all the mods with links for the ones that are in my game currently. And it's just a Google spreadsheet. All the links are there for you. I've already taken the time to do all that work for you, so. Alrighty. So that's done. Alright, so I'm going to put this tractor up and get it out of the way. Yeah, Landy, Deputy, Recon, Raven, and I all do stuff together. And again, it's just our common we share a common interest in doing YouTube stuff and farm sim stuff, so that's sort of how all of us ended up together. I think it's like Deputy and Recon were friends and did a lot together, and then Landy and Deputy and Recon got together, and then Raven met those guys, and then Raven found me, and I got to talking to all of them on TeamSpeak, and that's sort of how we all got to know each other. So it's just one of those things. And again, the common interest is farm sim and doing YouTube stuff, so that's sort of where it's at. All right, let's look at water real quick. Look at my cows and see how they're doing. Let's see, 110%. We got good mixed rations. Water's good, straw's good, so I think we're okay with them. So, all right, guys, we're coming up on an hour and a half. I think I'm going to go ahead and kill this stream, and because at this point, really, I need to fast track a couple of days. So what I'll do is I'll kill this here, and this is a good stopping point. And what I'll do is we'll pick up in the next one. We'll fast track through to Friday, and we'll start the whole planting process with cultivating and getting seed in the ground and all that good stuff. So that's where I'm going to start the next one at. So, but yeah, we'll pick up and do a live stream with that. Either a live stream or I'll start doing some recording on that. But I may do a live stream, like I said, either tomorrow or over the weekend. I just don't know. I got to look at what's going on. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was late tonight. Those of you who joined along, thank you so much. For those watching this in the archive, hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys on the next one, okay? Crew guy, what's some of the things I like to see added in the next farm sim? So many things I would love to see added in the next farm sim, and it's all mods. I mean, it's like there's so many implements out there that I'd love to see. I would love to see a front-end cultivator added into the game so that as you plow, you have an articulating cultivator that goes on the front of your tractor, that as you plow, you switch it from left and right side of the tractor to cultivate the field or cultivate the furrows that you just plowed. Love to see that added in. You know, there's other implements that I'd like to see added into the game. You know, and I'd like to see, you know, I'd like to see cotton farming added in as a real, you know, as a real agricultural thing, to where you have all the different add-ons that you need to do to do cotton farming. That would be cool, you know. So, all right, guys. All right, thanks for coming by, guys. I hope you did enjoy the stream. Sorry you missed it. Don't worry, though. It will be archived in about 30 minutes. So you guys can come back and watch it then, okay? But I appreciate everybody coming by. It was sort of a last-minute thing that I needed to get some farming done. And I thought, well, what the heck, I'll just live stream it at the same time. So it's one of those last-minute things. I'm trying to find a consistent schedule for doing it. The problem is I got so much going on, I don't really always know exactly when I'm going to have time to sit down and dedicate a couple of hours to live streaming. But it's one of those things where I try to make sure that I have something farm sim related up on the channel each day. So since I was going to do it, I figured, well, it's evening, people are at home, I'll do this. And if some people join in on the live stream, they do. If not, it's always archived. And I usually have no problem being able to talk to myself and entertain myself for a couple of hours. So I usually find something to talk about. All right, guys, about 30 more seconds and I'll wrap this up for the evening. But again, thanks a lot for sticking it out and hanging out with me. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you're watching the archive, make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. And if you hadn't subscribed to the channel, please do. I'll get another video up tomorrow. The rest of you guys watching the stream, thanks a lot for watching. We'll try to stream in the next day or two. So y'all have a good night.